Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is about the freeze buff we got from the recent patch note. They added a new effect for the freeze, which is not just cannot take action, it also cannot gain AP up effect. So freeze is a special stun now because you also cannot gain AP up effect from freeze. So where could freeze be useful? So for example, like Infinity Tower, there's some situation on tower you can control them, and every hit they get, they're gonna AP push, right? There's some kind of this kind of Infinity Tower buff, but if you apply freeze on them now, they will no longer get AP up effect, even though when they take damage, so something like this. So freeze is very good on that, and also for certain PvP situation, because freeze is now like the upgrade version of stun. For example, R6 Jinchu and R6 Javid are no longer able to stun and sleep, but they can be freeze. So if you're fighting like enemy who have R6 Javid or R6 Jinchu, you can still freeze them by you can still control them by using freeze. Okay, so let's take a look on the freeze method now. So I'm gonna freeze myself by using Audit's S3 because I cannot do a testing to make them on freeze, right? So I freeze myself, and now I'm on freeze. So I cannot take action and cannot get AP up effect. So let's say I use Abigail's S3, nothing happened at all because you cannot AP push because you are on freeze. You are so heavy because of the freeze, you increase the weight, right? So you can't get AP push. So let's say Clara have AP push and also heal. Can Clara push Audit now on the freeze mode? So let's see. See, still no effect. Only Abigail got AP push by Clara, but not Audit. The reason is here. Clara have their own orders of effect. Clara will AP push first, then heals everyone, then dispel one debuff from each ally. So when the moment Audit remove the freeze, it's already before AP up. So even Clara in PvP situation will not able to like solve this problem. She can solve the freeze problem, but not able to dispel the freeze debuff and then push everyone. Clara can't do that as well. Alright, so let's take a look at another situation. Okay, so now I'm gonna freeze myself, and then I'm gonna use TA's S3 because TA's S3 is not just AP push and also AP swap, and you can see here the AP swap here is not counting as an AP boost or reduction. So let's take a look. Well, it take effect. So even if you're on freeze mode, AP swapping still takes the effect because it's not counting as an AP push, because freeze here only cannot get AP push, which also means you can AP down the enemy who have freeze as well. Alright, so who else have AP swap? Changji. So now I'm going to freeze myself, and then Changji S3 have the AP swap effect as well as the HP percentage swap, right? But you can see here, if a non-boss enemy with the highest AP is above, then swap their AP. So I can use S3 to select the ally that is on freeze, then I swap their AP. So AP swap still takes effect as long as it's not an AP boost effect. So in conclusion now, I would say freeze is a better stun now because stun is just a very pure cannot take action, but for freeze is you cannot take action and you cannot get AP push effect. So in PvP situation, for example, you're gonna use stun. If you use stun, Clara is still able to AP push them after your own ally got stunned, for example. Okay, so now I'm gonna use Champagne to AP push my Ife. So later Ife will get stunned. Okay, now Ife is on stun, right? And if I use Clara S3 now, see, my Ife still get AP boost. So if you wonder, right, what is the impact of like the freeze and the stun? So if you AoE stun enemy and enemy have like an Esper such as Clara can cleanse and AP push. So it's not a big problem when you have Clara, and stun is like not a big issue, right? But for freeze, even Clara can cleanse the freeze, they won't get affected by the AP push, which is kind of like a very good situation to actually counter all those cliff team out there. And especially Pharah, because Pharah is one of the speed cliff counter due to her passive. The synergy passive is immune to AP down and damage taken is reduced, and when she get hit, she get AP boost from this effect. And after that, she can do AoE freeze and also dispel as well. So Pharah is already a meta Esper in KO and PvP actually. Then after this freeze boost, she will be even better because freeze is actually a better stun now, in my opinion. Okay, so if you disagree, feel free to comment down as well. But in my opinion, I think freeze is a better thing than stun because they work the same thing, but freeze have another extra effect which is cannot AP push. And who else have freeze? In the current situation, the Esper that have freeze now are this Esper, and they are very limited to the Esper that are useful in PvP or PvE as well. Okay, so that I really think the freeze debuff is a very good thing for Infinity Tower as well, because for situation like the buff, when the enemy Esper got hit, they get AP push. But if you apply freeze on them, they will no longer get the AP push from their Infinity Tower buff. So I think this is a good change, but beware, enemy who have freeze will also counter you back with this new freeze effect. Alright, so hope you guys enjoy the video, hope you guys understand what are the new changes of the freeze now, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.